Trudeau is bound and determined to drive our economy right off of the cliff. And we also now know why Freeland is rarely in the House of Commons when Trudeau is there. Welcome to my channel, y'all. I hope you're having a great day. Well, let's start with one of those things that Trudeau does all the time, which is say stupid things. This is from a statement he made just a few days ago.
No, it shouldn't be that way. It wasn't supposed to be that way. We were supposed to be on a steady, if difficult sometimes, march towards progress. And yet, just a few weeks ago, the United States voted for a second time to not elect its first woman president. Everywhere, women's rights and women's progress is under attack, overtly and subtly. But I want you to know that I am, and always will be, a proud feminist. You will always have an ally in me and in my government.
A proud feminist, he calls himself. Well, we know that that is just a load of horse pucky. Yes, he claims to be a feminist, but he never really was. He's very misogynistic, and he seems to get rid of a lot of female cabinet members because he can't get along with them, and he doesn't like what they do. And now Chrystia Freeland is in his crosshairs. Let's go to question period now and see what some of the exchanges on Wednesday were between Pierre, Poilievre and Justin Trudeau on this very topic.
This week, Prime Minister has lost control of the borders, lost control of immigration, lost control of spending, debt, and inflation. Now he's lost control of his own cabinet. Yesterday, the Globe and Mail reported that there's a big fiscal feud that has broken out between the Prime Minister and his Finance Minister. At stake is that she wanted to run a gigantic $40 billion deficit, but that was her guardrail. And now this Prime Minister is pushing her through that guardrail and pushing all Canadians off the fiscal cliff. Why?
Of course, Justin Trudeau doesn't answer that. He just deflects and pivots, and he starts talking about just unrelated things. Let's go now to the Globe and Mail article where this all came to light. This is the article that Pierre was referring to. It's an article in the Globe and Mail that came out a couple of days ago now. In this article, which I'll link below, they talk about having 10 sources within the Canadian government. So high-ranking Liberals, including a former senior finance department official. And they talked about how Chrystia Freeland and the Prime Minister are pretty much on the outs. She didn't believe that the tax holiday was a good idea, and she didn't believe that the $250 rebate was a good idea. She wanted to stay within the deficit guidelines, the guardrails, as Pierre Poilievre called them, but he's pushing them further and further, and it's now ballooned. I believe it's ballooned to around 60 billion, or that's the estimate. So we'll find out on Monday what that is when she delivers her fall economic update. You can read that article at your leisure. It's linked below, as I said before. Let's now go back to question period and continue on with the exchange between Pierre Poilievre and Justin Trudeau.
His Liberal MPs are not speaking out against him because he's allowing so much liberty. It's because he's so weak. Right. And there's nothing worse than a weak bully. He's now cracking down on his own finance minister, some feminist. On this side of this house, I lead by inspiration while he leads by intimidation. Once again, why won't he follow my inspiration and stand up for the promise that he made to keep the deficit under $40 billion?
Once again, Mr. Speaker, we see very clearly for the Leader of the Opposition, it's all about him. Well, for us, Mr. Speaker, it's all about Canadians. It's all about giving Canadians a tax break over the next 2 months that the Conservative leader voted against. Right. It's about delivering dental care to 1.2 million Canadians, where 3 million Canadians are already approved to access dental care in the coming year. The fact is, Mr. Speaker, we continue to be there for Canadians. He continues to be there for himself to try and block the help we're delivering to Canadians to make sure everyone thinks everything is broken because he's busy breaking it.
Does he really believe that Canadians will believe that? He's so full of crap. First, he's the biggest narcissist in the world, and yet he's claiming that Pierre Poilievre is in it for himself. That's clearly not the case. He's clearly projecting. It's called confession by projection. And as Pierre Poilievre is just about to point out, they haven't broken anything. They're not in charge. He's been in charge for the last 9 years.
He's been Prime Minister for 9 years. Let's review the chronology. So not even 8 months ago, his minister said the deficit would not exceed $40 billion, the guardrail. Then he went and got his banker friend, Carbon Tax Carney, to become his top economic advisor, stripping the power away from his finance minister. And suddenly, the guardrail was broken. Is he really going to subject his finance minister to the humiliation of reading Carney's fiscal update, which busts through the guardrail?
I think now we know why Chrystia Freeland is rarely in the House when Trudeau is there. I think over the past, 6 weeks or so, I've seen her in the House with when Trudeau has been there, I think twice. I don't know, maybe there's been more times. Maybe I've missed it, but she doesn't seem to be there when he's there. Could it be that they can't stand to be in the same room as each other? I don't know, but when I see her, I really see stress on her face. She always looks very stressed. I don't think they're getting along. But Trudeau ignoring her advice, ignoring what she's done is not the only thing that's driving our economy towards this economic cliff, as Pierre Poilievre says. It's also what he's doing internationally. He's attacking Donald Trump. He first goes down and grovels at Donald Trump's dinner table, unannounced on U.S. Thanksgiving, just making a complete fool of himself and of Canada. And now Donald Trump is, of course, trolling Canada and trolling him, calling him the governor of the great state of Canada. Clearly a troll, and a pretty good troll, because it's clearly getting underneath his skin and underneath the skin of a lot of the press, the far left liberal press that we have in Canada. And now, of course, Elon Musk is getting in on the deal. When he heard what Trudeau said in this press conference, when Trudeau stood up and said that he's very disappointed the Americans didn't take this opportunity, the second opportunity, to elect the first female president, and that he was somehow a feminist and that he would always stand up for women's rights. Well, Elon Musk called him a useless tool. So I guess he's not getting too much love from the Americans. But that's just my opinion. I'd love to know what you think. Put your comments down below. And while you're at it, please like this video, share with your friends and on social media. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and hit that bell notification so you never miss another video. Also, please join me on Thursday evenings at 6 p.m. Pacific time for my live stream, where you can join in on the conversation. Finally, if you wish to take your Canadian firearms safety course to get your PAL, which is really a Canadian firearms license, then I do have a link in the description of this video to my website, where you can sign up to take a course from me if you reside on Vancouver Island. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.